spotlight you, Sarah. Let me see. I cannot do that.
I can spotlight for everyone.
No,
There.
I want to spotlight
Oh.
you and
Jen,
and
we're
me.
live too and on YouTube.
Okay. All right. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to Internship Week, the third day of Internship Week. We're glad you're here today. This is going to be an exciting session. We're looking forward to this presentation by Sarah Lilong, and she will be talking about how to work a job fair and how to prep for that. So my name is Janice Potzman. I am an assistant director here at the Career Center, and I oversee internships. So therefore, Internship Week. So let me introduce you to Sarah. So
hello.
Sarah Lilong is the Employment Services and Event Coordinator at the CSUN Career Center, and she's been in this role for over 12 years. She is a CSUN alumna from the Mike Curb College of Arts, Media, and Communication. Sarah is a great enthusiast of career exploration and finding the right career field and industry that fits your unique background and direction. In her free time, Sarah likes to draw, take pictures, listen to music, watch films, and take walks in nature. Sarah, it's all yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us and coming to today's session during Internship Week. We're really excited to have you and to share our knowledge with all of you. So thank you for taking the time to join us. And I'm going to share my screen to start the presentation. Let's see. There we go. I need to go to Zoom. Screen. Let's do the whole screen so we can go in and out. So, little title page, career fair prep. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the value of attending, excuse me, not a virtual career fair, but a regular career fair. That is a typo. Sorry. Okay. So the content is updated. So connecting with diverse employers right here on campus. One of the benefits of a job fair at school is that you can meet with all of these employers from lots of different industries right here on campus, to and from class. The event's going to be from 11 to 2 in the Northridge Center. And any time between that time frame, if you have free time, you can stop by the event and meet employers, ask them questions. And another value of attending a job fair is that the statistic that's been shared even on the U.S. Department of Labor is that 80% of all jobs come from networking. I got my job from networking. I think Jan and Anna, got their job from networking. You get your job. A lot of jobs are from networking. So coming to a job fair and practicing even just networking is really helpful and a great resource. Not all resources are books or websites. Attending a job fair is a resource to learn more about industry and career fields. And if you're nervous, just remember, employers want to hire you. They're coming here because you're a CSUN student. There's general job fairs in the Valley. Employers are coming to CSUN because they want to hire CSUN students. You have a lot of transferable skills, not just your hard skills you're learning in your around your major, but also writing skills, critical thinking, group projects, and tolerance from, those general ed classes. There's a lot of that build inclusivity. There's a lot of skills as a college student that you learn that make you very desirable by employers. So if you're feeling a little nervous, just remember that, they're here because they want to meet you. So you should feel good about yourself. So before the virtual fair, or sorry, another typo. Before the career fair, you want to prepare. So the first thing you can do is register and handshake. You can go to the events tab in the from the navigation menu in the upper left-hand corner and find the event and register. Only CSUN students and alums can register and handshake. So if you are not a CSUN alum or a CSUN student, again, employers are coming to CSUN because they want to meet CSUN students. There are job fairs for the community. This specific event is for CSUN students and alumni. You can also review all the companies and that are registered. There's 87 right now, and there's so many different industries. So you can filter employers, and we'll go into the system to show you how to register and how to kind of review the employers attending. And there'll be time at the end if you have questions. So I'm in the events section. This menu is accessible from anywhere in the system. So if I'm on the home page, there's the events. So it's easy to find yourself in the event section. Because this event is coming up soon, it is coming up on top. But if you're having a hard time finding it, you can filter by career fair, and it's the only career fair left this semester. And so, yeah, there it is. And to register, you're going to select the title, scroll past the logo, join event. And now you can see that I'm registered. If something comes up and I can't make it, I can always leave the event. I can also hide my attendance, because you can, if your profile is public, you can see, you may be able to see other students who are registered. But I actually don't. I have a public account, so I'm actually not seeing that. On the details subsection, you're going to see on the career fair overview, you're going to see some details. These are all the industries that are coming. How will you connect with employers? How to prepare. We have links to CareerLink, our online career education platform that's been curated by your Career Center counselors. There's a section on resumes, interview basics, even one for career fair preparation, and how to dress for success with Maddie's Closet and Maddie's Closet resources. They're all in Handshake. If you require special accommodations, you can make those to Odette, like a sign language interpreter. And you can find my contact information if you have any questions. So there's a lot of information you can find right here on the home page. To see all the employers attending, you can see more, or go to all employers. And here's where you're going to get those filtering options I was talking about. So like if you know of a certain industry that you want to see if it's being represented, you can look through the list and see if they're on there. You're like, oh, who's here for movies, TV, and music? And you can see the company. If you want to find out more information, you can see this is their career fair registration information they've shared. It says that U.S. work authorization is required, but they are accepting OPT and CPT candidates, which is helpful. You can also filter on that as well. You can see job types, school years, and you can see a link out to their website. If you want to see the employer's handshake profile, which I recommend you review, you select their name and you can see some demographic information. It looks like a small company, and some socials. A larger company will have more information, but you can see you can actually apply for their internship right here in Handshake, which is great. And what a great way to be a competitive applicant, to apply for the job before you go, or review the job, and if you have questions, you have the recruiter that's going to be there that you can ask directly. It's such a valuable experience. You can also follow the employer, so if they post any new jobs, you will be notified. So that's a little bit about how to view the employers that are attending the job fair and how to register for the job fair. Let's go back to the presentation. Again, we are going to have time to ask questions. So I'm so sorry. This is not the right slide. My updates did not seem to have saved. So there we go. Okay, so to prepare for the fair, you want to work on your Handshake profile and review CareerLink resources. I showed you where you can find some CareerLink resources in the fair page, linked out. And your Handshake profile you can access from your avatar in the upper right-hand corner and select profile, my profile, and you can update your work experience, your education. If CSUN has included some academic information, but if let's say you're a master's student and you want to put your bachelor's degree, or you are a transfer student and you want to put like an associate's degree, if you want to add courses that you feel like make you a competitive applicant, you can add courses, projects. You can also upload your resume into Handshake and have some of those fields autofill, which is helpful. And revise and upload your resume to Handshake. The benefit of uploading your resume into Handshake before the fair is employers, if you are connecting with employers and you have a public profile, employers can find your resume in Handshake. And it also makes it easier to update your profile in Handshake. And so next, we're going to talk about researching companies and some more resources to research companies. So this is a critical step to attend a job fair. When you're meeting with employers, if you're very interested in finding employment, knowing about the company will give you a competitive edge against other applicants. Not all students are going to research the companies attending. If you look into the companies attending and have questions that are thoughtful and based on researching the company, the employer will be impressed, and you'll make a good impression. You can also use CareerLink. CareerLink has BuzzFile. It's a resource in CareerLink that allows you to search companies. You can find out demographic information and what kind of majors and what kind of industry and I can show you where to find that in CareerLink. LinkedIn is also a great resource to find out more information about a company and see what kind of job roles they have, what the contacts for the company, what are their job titles, what open jobs do they have in LinkedIn? Are they different than the jobs that they have in Handshake? be able to answer, what does the company do? Who do they serve? And like I had mentioned before, what positions do they have? Let's go back into Handshake, and I'll show you where to go to find BuzzFile. So if you go into career link from any of these links, you can find BuzzFile by doing a keyword search. There it is, BuzzFile. I use, in my role as the Employment Services and Event Coordinator, I use BuzzFile. Sometimes I can find information that I can't find in on their website, in Handshake, or in LinkedIn. So it does have some additional information. So let's say I want to look up CVS. They're coming to the job fair. So we have CVS Pharmacy. I know they're headquartered in Rhode Island. Can we find them in Rhode Island? It must be, this is a, let's see. Oh, what about Los Angeles, County of Los Angeles? There we go. Oh, this is the sheriff. But just to give you some insight on what it looks like when you find the company you're interested in knowing more about, you can, there's a lot of information that's just clearly listed and broken down for you. You can see like racial demographics, their age, their gender, the how big is the County of Los Angeles or this specific department. So it has helpful information, and it can be helpful if you're not finding what you are looking for in Handshake or on their website. Now, if I want, let's say I wanted to see California Department of Parks and Recs. Here I can see the jobs that they have listed in Handshake and other students who have worked there. Again, your network is a resource, and as a college student, we don't always have, or you may not always have the connections that someone from Yale or even UCLA might have. So creating your network with other students, that's what people are doing at Yale. That's what people do at UCLA. And so to build your network as a college student, that's one of the benefits of going to college, is that network that you gain on campus with your professors, with your peers, and with employers who are interested in meeting you. And so messaging students can be helpful to find out, like you can have templated questions too, like, what was the interview process like? What experience do you feel was beneficial to you getting the job? And so this overview of the employer is a helpful tool, and then also going to their website, which will be linked out on their profile. And when you go to their website, you don't always know where to find career information. So kind of exploring can be helpful. This is their career page, but like if you're ever at a website and you're like, well, what kind of jobs do they have? You can find them sometimes up here at the top. There it is, right there. So sometimes you'll find jobs listed at the bottom. But for this employer, you'll find them right here on top, and see like the different jobs they have open, and join a mailing list if you want. They have a video even. So they have a lot of information, kind of understanding what the hiring process is like, or what like their mission is, can make you look more interested and more desirable for the employer. I also recommend like even checking out their About Us. A lot of times you'll find something like a mission statement or their values, and that can help you make a decision, and it can also help you have a better understanding of who the company is, and share that with the employer of why you are choosing this company to talk to. So going back to the presentation, the next slide. See where we're at. So the next step is to plan your pitch. This is all in preparation for the job fair. Ideally, you're coming to this career fair prep workshop. This is something I'd like you to take away, is to learn how to introduce yourself to employers and even other peers. This is, I don't mean to sound ingenuine, but this is how you sell yourself. And that is really what you're doing. You're trying to instill confidence in others and trust that, you are a good fit for their company. Because in the end, that's what employers are looking for, is who's going to be a good fit in our company. Am I going to like to say good morning to this person every day, and have meetings with them and work on projects with them? So planning can help you sell yourself better. Why not prepare yourself? That's the best advice that I can give you. And what should this pitch include? Your name and major. You're a student. They're coming here to a college campus. Your major is of interest to them, your name. And also making eye contact, not too much, you don't want to make it awkward, but you want to be personable. Making eye contact can help with that. Giving them a firm handshake, not too tight, not too limp. Like it's not like this, it's, you can practice too with someone who maybe has more experience with handshake. Or if you want to come to the Career Center and practice your handshake with me, you can. Name and major, interest. Sometimes people don't want to do handshakes too because of COVID. So you can just say, hello, I'm blah, blah, blah. And just, gesture with your hands, or have your hands behind your back and just say hi, like, or bow. You don't have to like handshake either, if you don't want to touch. But I do experience a lot of employers do still handshake. So if an employer does reach for your hand, you might want to consider shaking it and carrying hand sanitizer. We will have hand sanitizer at the Career Center table. In addition to your name and major, your pitch should include your interests and your experience. So what makes you unique? What are your interests pertaining to, work and education? Like I'm an art major. I'm interested in art and film and drawing and creative decision making. So there's things for me that are unique to me and that can relate to, I'm detail oriented. I like things to be formatted consistently. So there's things about me that are unique to me, and just like there's things about you that are unique to you. Find out what those things, what are your strengths and your experience. Like, if you have courses that you feel like directly relate to like the jobs that you're looking at, you can share how like there was an experience in your class where you did this and you saw in the job description that you're looking for someone who can do that. That can be that's of interest to them and that's what they want to hear. Or maybe it's your work experience. Maybe you had a part-time job or an internship that relates to the job that you're looking to find out more information about. So all of that is of interest to the employer and it's going to make you a more dynamic candidate. And I love this image because when you're preparing for something, you have to anticipate there's going to be a little bit of fear. And so if you're embracing that fear, that means you're preparing and you're on the right track. So the day before the virtual fair, you want to plan your wardrobe and not your video view. Sorry, that's another typo. I updated this earlier and it just didn't save my changes. Okay, wait. Okay, so plan your wardrobe. That's what you're gonna wear the next day. How are you gonna wear your hair? What shoes are you gonna wear? You don't have to dress professionally, but it would give you a competitive edge if you did. And if not, professionally or like in a dress shirt with a tie and slacks or an appropriate length professional outfit, then like a dress or a skirt or you want to make sure that your school wardrobe is a little bit less or a little bit more on the professional side. So for example, if you're used to wearing crop tops, maybe for that day wear a shirt that isn't a crop top. It can honestly be distracting and you don't want the employer to focus on something other than who you are and what do you have to offer, not on what you're wearing as much. So like that's why wearing something that's a little bit more nondescript, more professional, they're less likely to focus on what you're wearing and they'll just take away that, oh, they look very like nice. They're not going to think, oh, like they were wearing spaghetti straps and I saw their bra, or they were wearing a shirt that had something obscene language on it. So I would say, and students do wear what they wear to class, and it's not required to wear a jacket and professional outfit. But just if you do wear school, like your normal school clothes, make sure that it would be something that you would wear if you're working in an office on campus. So that means like, don't wear something that's too short. I wouldn't wear a tank top, even regardless of gender. And you want to be able to express yourself and your uniqueness, but it in a way that doesn't take away from what you have to offer. And there is resources linked out to our professional, business professional and casual business resources in CareerLink. Review your favorite employers, see if they have any new jobs that they've posted since you've last reviewed them, or just kind of, make a game plan of, I have this much time, I think I can talk to this many employers. Prepare questions to ask, like, what's something that you had questions about while reviewing the companies or their jobs, and take care of yourself. You're going to be meeting with different employers, possibly different students, and so kind of mentally preparing yourself the day before can be helpful. If you like to take salt baths, or do a facial, or go to bed early, put a do not disturb on your phone. Sometimes when I know I have a big day, I'll put my phone on my dresser, not under my pillow, so that I don't touch it, because that can keep me awake sometimes. What else? Let your family know, I'm going to be doing this, and these are the employers I'm interested in talking to, or your friends. Sharing what you're working on can sometimes, give you new insight on what you're going to be doing, or give you a new idea of a question to ask, or an employer to consider even. And your unique is what is going to get you hired. I love that quote too. Inspirational. So during the career fair, check in with the employers you're least interested in first. The reason I recommend students to do this is because you're trying to build that confidence. So if you check in with an employer that you're not as interested in, you are going to, that practice makes perfect. That's the saying, and it's true. If you check in with the employers you're least interested in first, you're going to practice your pitch. You're going to feel more comfortable, like making eye contact and greeting them, introducing yourself. So that's my recommendation. If you're waiting in line and there's a long line to talk to an employer that you really want to talk to, and you're waiting, talk to your peers around you and say, oh, hey, you're interested in this employer too? What's your major? Those connections you make are valuable. So I recommend you connect with others at the event, that find what are your commonalities. You don't have to be their best friend or even add them on social media. Just saying hello and making a human connection can sometimes bring value to discovering yourself. Be purposeful with managing your energy. So you have a certain amount of time to participate at the event. Make sure that you're giving yourself time to discover new employers and to talk to the employers you're interested in, and are still able to go to class if you have class later, or eat if you have to eat. And then lastly, I did touch on this, but leave time to explore. There's let me see, how many am I at? This my well, I want to say there's over 30 different industries there. There's 87 employers, and there's a lot of different industries. So leaving time to explore, career fields that's like different job roles. They translate across industry. If you're a marketing student, the California Department of Parks and Recs, they're going to have a marketing department. CSUN has a marketing department. They have an IT department. They have content development. If you're a history major or an English major and you're interested in working for a company, writing content for their website, or for their ad copy, there's a lot of transferable skills you have as a student that can translate across industries and even sometimes career fields, depending on what skills are required or qualifications are required for the job. So leave time to explore, because you never know what kind of company actually might be a good fit for you. And if you're still feeling nervous, the Career Center is going to be there. So please check in with us, say hello. If you have any questions, if you want to practice your 1-minute commercial on a Career Center staff member, we're there. We'd be happy to help. If you have a question about what companies to meet with, we can also help direct you. So yeah, check in with your Career Center. We're here to help you. After the fair, following up with a thank you letter is a pro move. Your thank you letter can include a brief reintroduction, like, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm a blah, blah, blah major. I don't know if you remember me, or I wouldn't say that, but we discussed blah, 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 blah. And I really liked how you referred me to da 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 da, or and do this within 24 hours. This is, you can look up templates, but really it should be something from your conversation, and a connection point from your conversation would be something that was unique to that recruiter, that you and that recruiter discussed, and that will remind them who you were. And that is a pro tip that not a lot of people actually do. I interview a lot of students who work on campus, and I don't know what the percentage is, but I interviewed like 10 students this summer. I got one thank you letter. So it doesn't seem like a common from my experience, but it could mean it could become a deciding factor if there's 2 qualified candidates and one of them sent a thank you letter and one didn't. It could be as little as something like that. And that's it. Thank you all so much for joining. We do have time for questions, so if you can put your questions in the chat, this is being recorded, and we can go back into Handshake. I can answer any questions you have, and you can also email us questions as well.
Okay, Sarah, we had some questions in the chat. We were lucky enough to have 2 other staff members on the call. One is Brian, and he's answered some of the questions for us already. But there are a few questions here. The first question is, why is it important to have an updated profile?
Oh,
in Handshake.
Yeah. So the reason it's important to have an updated profile is employers, if your profile is public, employers can they can find you based on certain filters that they can use, like your major, your class level. So so if they're looking for a certain major with certain work experience and you have that in your account, that's an employer could reach out to you, and you want to make sure that you're presenting your best, most up-to-date self. So like, let's say you haven't updated your senior and you haven't updated your Handshake account since you activated it as a freshman. Hopefully you'll have, coursework, projects, work experience that you would want to make sure is updated in your account. Or let's say you're a freshman and you've never updated your profile. You activated your account and you skipped all the steps to update your profile. You can add any kind of work experience, volunteer experience, coursework that was helpful, where you learn skills that you feel would be valuable to an organization.
I want to add one thing, and your interests may have changed. So you want to update your interests inside Handshake because your profile is what allows internships will be fed to you and jobs will be fed to you based on your profile. We've got another question here from Shaparak, and he has a question. It's a Handshake question. And it said, would you please show the section with the job openings of each employer once more so we can apply before going to the fair?
Yes, great question. So you're going to go to from the homepage, you're going to go to the events tab. You're going to select the fall career fair and all employers. And now I can see a list of all of the employers that are attending. Now I can filter if not all employers. So employers, sometimes they register like 3 months ago and they don't even know what jobs they have open at the time. They just know that they want to come to campus and they're going to have jobs open. Or the person who created the registration isn't the person hiring. So sometimes the information when you filter it in Handshake is not always accurate, but it can be helpful to get a start. I just wanted to note that, sometimes information changes. Sometimes they don't even include it on their career fair registration. They're just trying to get through this form. And if it's not required, they're just going to, skip it. And that does happen. There you will see some employers that don't have jobs listed. But to see the jobs that they've had listed, like I said, you go to the events, fall career fair, all employers, and then you can go to the employer account, and we can see here on the right hand side their jobs. If I want to see all the jobs they have open, I can do see all, and there's only one, and I can review all the information. Now, if you don't qualify for a job, that doesn't mean you shouldn't necessarily not apply. You could still apply if you have work experience that can compensate for maybe a specific major they're looking for. If your major, like sometimes employers don't have a good understanding of how majors and are transferable between like their skill sets are transferable. For example, consumer science and business, there could be some overlap there, or history and English. I think there could be some overlap there, depending on the role of what the employer is looking for. So yeah, just don't always, like what is listed there is not always an end all, and Handshake does allow you to apply. Even if you're not a match, Handshake still lets you apply because of that. And I have seen a statistic I shared at the last presentation, and I do share this with students frequently, is that a lot of people who are hired don't meet all the qualifications. So if you only apply for jobs where you meet all the qualifications, you're limiting yourself to find a job that could be a good fit for you.
Okay, Sarah.
Yeah.
We have some questions that Brian answered in the chat, but I think maybe you would like to tell us where the job fair is located.
The Northridge Center in the University Student Union. So if you know where Subway is or the gym, that's the University Student Union. And let's even I can even show you the campus map on the CSUN website.
Thank you.
Actually, I have the employer. This is what I sent to employers. So the employers, this is the campus. We're in Bohemian Hall, the Career Center. Here's the library. Here's the USU. So this is where Subway is, like on the other side, and it's under the staircase. So if you're familiar with walking through the USU, here's the gym. You're walking through. The Northridge Center is this hall with like the staircase by the ticket office. And the entrance is under the staircase. I hope that answers your question, but it's in the Northridge Center in the USU. Here's the Plaza del Sol.
Okay, Sarah, can you share what are our hours at the Career Center?
Yeah. So we're open from 10 to 4, Monday through Friday. And I think it would be helpful to go to our website because if you're a visual learner, that can also help. You can see information about where are we located. The Career Center is in Bohemian Hall. And if you have questions, you can get some quick virtual help in Zoom during these times. And you don't have to come into the Career Center. You can ask like certain questions just right there. If you wanted a resume critique, you would need to come during our drop-in hours. And those are 15 minutes in person and virtual on these days and times. And then
Sarah, during the day of a job fair, can I come on the day of a job fair? Can I come and get my resume critiqued?
no, we'll be closed. If you want to talk to the Career Center, you should come to the Northridge Center the day of the job fair. We will be closed. We'll have a sign on the door that says we're closed and directing you to go to the Northridge Center. So on the 25th of October, next Tuesday, we'll be closed. But if you come during these hours, usually we'll be open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4.
I know we had some conflicting information about the hours, but yes, those are the hours that we are open. We had longer hours in the past,
Yeah.
but currently it's 10 to 4. Let me see if there's anything else.
We're here at that time. We're just not open to, because we just have limited staff on campus.
Right. And Brian answered lots of questions about the 60-second pitch and the 1-minute commercial. So if you're interested in learning about that, you can go to the chat. And then there was a question about hard copy resumes. So Sarah, do you want to talk about that at the job fair?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last part.
Should students bring hard copy resumes to the job fair?
I would recommend that you have some resumes, but some feedback I've received from students is that, a lot of employers direct you to apply on their website and don't want to take a resume. So just you want to be prepared to have your resume in case they do want it, but just be prepared that they might direct you to the website. Now, I've also heard feedback from students, well, what's the point of coming to a job fair? What kind of information am I going to get that I'm not going to get from just going to their website? You're going to get a contact. That's what you're going to get. So when you go, I would recommend getting a business card or trying to get that connection on LinkedIn. Stay connected with the people you meet. You took the time to show up and introduce yourself, and you want to take away something that you can follow up with, like a business card or a LinkedIn contact or an email address. Yeah, you can, that kind of over answered your question, but I would bring resumes if you're able to bring them. I think there is a printing center in the USU, actually, we've directed students to, where I think you get like up to 10 free printed paper. We used to print resumes in the Career Center. I don't know if we are still doing that because we don't have a printer in the front area anymore, I think.
Right.
But there's also resume paper. If you had resume paper, you could print on the resume paper. But I know the USU does have a printing center you can print from.
Okay, well, it looks like we have answered all the questions. So I just want to say thank you to Sarah for offering a wonderful workshop for you today about how to connect in a job fair, how to prepare for a job fair. And we hope to see you all on the 25th. The hours for the job fair are, what are the hours, Sarah?
11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay, 11
Anytime.
a.m. to 2 p.m. So we hope to see you during that time. Please come as early as you can. And I say that sometimes students will come at 5 minutes to 2. And it really, the employers, sometimes employers will leave early, a little bit early. So I just encourage you to come and give yourself enough time to connect with the employers during the job fair. Also, I thank you for posting the drop-in hours in the chat. Also, I want to encourage you to come to the other sessions today at 12:30 p.m. We have a session on micro internships and our partnership with Parker Dewey. And then at 2 p.m. we have LA County academic internships. And then at 4 p.m. we have NASA ARCS program. So please, if you're interested, go in, sign up through a handshake. And then tomorrow, I want to let you know that we have resume makeover. So if you're interested in having your resume critiqued before the event, that is the day to come. So you can sign up again for a resume makeover in handshake. And thank you all for being